Hey, it's Tim Hill here from the Digital Agency Series podcast, where we meet digital agency founders from all around the world. We find out how they started their agencies, how they grew in the early days, and how they scale their businesses today. Digital Agency Series is presented by SEOptimer.com, the world's best SEO audit and reporting tool, trusted by over 1,500 agencies to automate their SEO audits and generate new business leads. If you haven't tried it, check it out. Sign up for a free 14-day trial at SEOptimer.com. Today I'm chatting with Henry Ng, Managing Director of Verz Design, a multi-award-winning full-service digital agency based in Singapore. Henry's team of nearly 100 digital experts spans 4 locations, including Singapore, Vietnam, India, and the Philippines. Henry, thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, Tim, thank you for having me on board.
It's great to chat. You started Verz Design nearly 12 years ago. Can you think back to 2009? What actually led you to start the agency?
Well, actually, when we started off as a consulting company back in 2009, helping our SME clients to tap on various grants. And we stumbled upon an opportunity back then to help clients without any online presence to set up their website. So how it works is that the government provides a grant for business owners who do not have an existing website. And that's how we started our business.
Yeah. And, when you were starting out, finding those first clients, do you remember how you actually got them? Like what methods did you use for lead gen?
Okay. As mentioned earlier, we have a grant which allows clients without online presence to only pay a few $100, and then the government will pay the remaining $2,000 for them to develop this website when we are done with the project. So this is kind of popular back then, and because we managed to get on board this, so there were many companies that were without a website, and sales was easy back then, and we managed to sell more than 60 of such government grant projects in a period of 3 months.
Yeah, wow. And what kind of businesses were they? Just out of interest.
Most of our clients that come on board, they are a wide range of clients, going from oil and gas, from education, from e-commerce. So they don't have any specific industries.
Yes. Okay. Something that I really thought was interesting about Verz is that you publish your agency's values and your company culture on your website. I really liked that, and I wondered, what informed this, and how do you actually make it part of your everyday processes?
Oh, actually, it's interesting because that you actually managed to take a look at our website and find out our values and our culture. Appreciate that. Actually, we feel that our values define us on how we treat our employees and clients. So the information posted online is not for any marketing purpose, but to tell people who we really are and how we treat our people, including our clients and our employees. The working culture is listed on the website because this is one of the more popular questions that we get during interview of new employees. So that's why instead of answering them one by one, I find that it's more productive for me to put up everything online so that they can read about our company before they come to join us.
Did you find that they've always been interested in that, or is it just more recently that prospects, like new hires, are becoming more interested in that?
Well, I think all along, I think for the past 5 years, whenever we come to the questions, like we pose to the candidates who walk in for interview, like, do you have any questions for us? They would definitely be asking, what is the working culture like?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And
yeah, I mean, I guess on that point, when you're going through hires, I'm always interested in, how agencies hire, and with the fact that your values and culture is on your site, what do you actually look for in new hires to match that?
One of my favorite quotes that I love is from Steve Jobs, and it says, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." So when we do hire, I actually look at how hungry a person is and in terms of his commitment to achieve success. So to us, we look more at the attitude, and to us, attitude means everything.
Yeah, yeah. And if you are hiring from agency side, like people who have come from other agencies versus perhaps from the brand side, do you see any different kind of cultural, work cultural differences between those two groups?
Uh, of course, we have over the past 10 years have opportunity to hire people with experience. So I believe there are merits in both ways, you know. So we have come across people who came along with other agencies, but and so they were able to contribute ideas like how other agencies are doing this and how they are doing overcoming of some problems that they face. But we do also hire a lot of fresh graduates. So the thing is that when we
Yeah,
have a system and we need people to follow our system, it is better to always hire fresh graduates, someone without a real experience in it, because they would
yeah.
be able to follow according to the rules and regulations and the procedures that you implement in in the company. Whereas some of those who come from the web agencies, they may not be able to follow this as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah. Yeah, very interesting. I mean, I think one thing I'm really interested to learn from you as well is how you're, if kind of switching gears now, how you're prospecting and finding new potential clients today. What tactics are you using there?
Okay, uh, I think this is also related to what SEO Optimizer is doing, which is SEO. So basically, we rely on clients visiting our website and submitting their inquiries a lot. Our tagline, I just want to focus a little bit on our tagline. It says designing
Yeah.
web excellence. And to me, designing web excellence actually refers to three things, which we strongly believe in, and they are having an awesome design, compelling contents, and qualified traffic. So, as such, our clients are basically coming from our qualified traffic, which is what we believe in. So, they are either using SEO, SEM, or social media marketing. So, we find that in this way, when we attend to inquiries submitted through online, they have a higher closure percentage as compared to us doing cold calling of clients.
Yeah, interesting. And so do you still do cold calling or is it all inbound these days?
No, we have stopped using any cold calling techniques or and just focus on
Yeah.
inbound inquiries.
Yeah, fantastic. And just as well, just on that point, out of interest again, do you service only clients in Singapore or other countries as well?
Okay, we most of our inquiries that are submitted online, I would say about 95% are based from Singapore.
Yeah.
But we do have 5% of inquiries coming from all over the world. And we
Wow.
have also managed to develop websites in languages that we actually do not understand.
Yeah.
One of the rare, more challenging project that we have done is in Myanmar, which is the language is almost like in characters that is unrecognizable to us at all.
You literally have the global market open to you. Yeah, that's excellent. What do you think? In terms of agency growth, what do you think is the biggest challenge?
Okay, I would say growing an agency uh, has the same problem as most, if not all, small and medium enterprise. And to us, that is manpower. So to me, I'm always looking at strategies in terms of hiring and retaining good people. And that is the most challenging aspect.
I really relate to that. I mean, I'm an ex agency person, and the amount of churn of of staff is really it's really high. I feel like in our industry, in marketing and agencies, there's really high churn. I mean, apart from the company culture and kind of the strong values that you have, what do you think is a good retention model for staff?
What we have is we have to understand that just like an agency or any business owner, any business, small and medium business, it is impossible to retain 100% of the people all the time.
Yeah.
So it is almost like a certainty that it is impossible to retain 100% of the people. So we have to be able to give up on that idea.
Yes.
And instead, we have to tell ourselves that we need to focus on a core group of people. So we need to focus on, let's say, in our company, we focus on 30 to 40%. Okay, so we have a core team of people whereby the benefits could be slightly better, and we could even have a bond for these employees in our company.
Yeah.
Whereas the other 60 to 70% of the employees, we will have to be able to, it is not as if like we do not have benefits, but we still have benefits for them, and it's for them to show their interest in continuing work with our company, and then for them to grow into this core group of people.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Excellent. And then just, I guess, regarding the services that the agency offers, you cover both the technical development side as well as the marketing consulting side. I was really interested in your region. Where do you see the most market demand at the moment?
Okay, at the moment, because due to COVID, we have seen a drop in terms of technical development, which very customized mobile apps or web applications. There has been a drop in terms of the inquiries. So the more, but on the bright side, what we see on a growing trend is inquiries for e-commerce websites.
Yeah, I see. And what about on the kind of marketing services side?
Okay, I think in terms of marketing services like SEO, SEM,
Social. Yeah.
I believe a lot of newcomers or a lot more business that is going to e-commerce, they will now realize that it is more important for them to have such marketing techniques so that they can drive qualified traffic to their websites instead of, otherwise it is a kind of waste for them if they are to come on board having a website, but then no visitors come to their website.
Exactly. Yeah. And I guess related to that, what are the common problems that business owners face when they set up their website for the first time?
Okay. I believe that there are two common problems faced by our clients, even after their website is developed. Okay, a lot of SME business owners now understand the importance of having a professional and good-looking website. However, there's still a high percentage of customers who do not take website copywriting seriously. So the first problem is that we have many clients with nice website, but the content itself is not so convincing or persuasive. The second problems faced by customers are that a lot of customers believe that a website is a one-off investment. They park a sum of 3,000 to 5,000, set up the website, and they expect miracles to happen. But we have to be able to convince them that more efforts are required. A lot of such customers, they do not take effort to post contents or blog articles, or do not invest in SEO or SEM itself. And when they do not participate in this on a monthly or regular basis, the enquiries from their website actually do not improve or won't come in.
Yeah.
So these are the two common problems faced by clients, and it is where we try to educate them on and try to bring them on board these two services that we have.
I think that's a great point about education. I think that that's kind of really half the job of an agency, right? Is like, you know, certainly advising, but almost like being this educator for your clients and actually telling them why, showing them the journey, the use cases, and all that kind of stuff. I think that's the unspoken job of a lot of agencies. Um, Also, when COVID-19 started affecting Singapore, I'm interested to know what your agency did to react and adapt to that new landscape.
Okay, fortunately for us, the government understand that most businesses in Singapore need to move into e-commerce, and the government provided this grant for business owners to set up an e-commerce website. So we were one of the fortunate one, and as such, when COVID-19 hit Singapore, we were actually flooded with inquiries about setting up e-commerce website using
Wow.
the government grant. So
Yeah.
COVID-19 did not affect our industry in that much,
Yeah.
uh, but it affected us positively because there were more inquiries coming in for e-commerce websites.
That's really fantastic that the Singaporean government, had this great initiative. I think for a lot of people around the world, in other countries, some governments have reacted very differently. Even large markets like the US that are still trying to catch up with supporting small business. So, is it right that the Singapore government enhanced this grant to 80%? So they were covering 80% of the cost of development. Is that how it worked?
Oh yeah, actually,
Wow.
uh, this is only a slight improvement. Before the COVID hit, actually there was this productivity solutions grant which you mentioned earlier, but
Yeah.
the government only fund up to 70%.
Oh, 70. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a 10% increment,
Yeah.
which our finance minister increased from 70% to 80%, and it will only last until December 31st, 2020.
Uh-huh.
So I
Yes.
believe, in my opinion, I believe that COVID-19 has forced every business owners to relook at how things can actually work.
Yeah.
So even in our company, where some of our staffs were telling me that they cannot work from home as they have to meet up with clients in person, but when COVID-19 hits, uh, they suddenly were able to work from home because they know that if they are not able to work from home, they will be left without a job. So
Yeah.
likewise, I believe this productivity solutions grant has benefited others. I believe this COVID, it has. I believe that there are many business owners who think that their business cannot rely on website or e-commerce in the past. However,
Yeah.
when Singapore went into the so-called lockdown, a lot of business owners start to reimagine how website or e-commerce can help them, and this will definitely affect how they work in future, even when COVID is no longer with us.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I feel that this has just changed the game, hasn't it? You've got so many businesses that are coming online now, and even a lot of the tools that we're using and communication tools between businesses and their customers has evolved so much in the last year because of what's happened. I guess, what does that mean now for Verz design in the future? When you look to 2021 and beyond, uh, what are you working on, or what do you expect that's going to come in the market that will change the way that you do business with clients?
Okay, this is interesting because you are talking about all the different communication tools, and uh, I think In future, what we are looking at is that COVID-19 has actually affected our way of thinking. It has affected on how we work, and one of the possible area whereby Verz Design is looking at is that we are looking at potential opportunity to explore overseas clients. As we discussed earlier, only about 5% of our clients are from overseas. But with COVID-19 hitting around, and we were not, and even in Singapore, we actually went into the so-called lockdown. We have to do a lot of video calls via Zoom or Google Hangout with our clients.
Yes.
So this sets our management thinking that, if we can reach our Singapore customers and explain to them, find out what are their requirements using Zoom and Google Hangout, maybe we can also do the same thing by reaching out to clients, let's say from Jakarta or
Yeah.
Kuala Lumpur, or even from where you are, Melbourne or Sydney, which is just two
Yeah.
hours time zone difference away from Singapore. So in this way,
Yes.
we hope to penetrate overseas market, and then we won't become so reliant on just one domestic Singapore market.
That makes a lot of sense. Do you think where like if you were to pick one city out of all of those, where do you think is the natural kind of next step?
Oh, I would like to try Melbourne or Sydney.
Yeah. Yeah, great,
I've been to
great.
that place. I think uh, I I believe the exchange rate for Aussie and Singapore dollars is very close to each other, and I believe I've been to that place itself,
Yeah.
and I believe that there's a good chance that if we set up originally, just doing Zoom call or Google Hangout with them, eventually we will need to have a technical team in these cities, and I believe they
Yes.
are good places in which we can expand to.
I agree. I mean, I think that that's actually a very interesting idea as well because when you look at Australian population, there are a lot of residents who are from you name it, Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong. Like it's such a multicultural place, especially when you look at Melbourne and Sydney. That there is, I think, actually some kind of soft landings almost when you look at business owners who are expats, or when you look at organizations over here who are trying to target various demographics in Australia. I was talking with a brand the other day that is wanting to really use, say, for example, WeChat, and using other platforms that are kind of like emerging, but they're not fully mainstream in Australia. But I think that that's actually a fantastic market opportunity. Um, but do you think that that would be soon, like in the next year?
Uh, there is we are tapping on when our employees and government grant to look into that.
Yeah,
Something that is I am interested to work on. I've been to that place, Melbourne, uh,
yeah,
2 or 3 times. I love that place,
yeah.
and it's just a short flight away. It also
It
one of the
is.
things that it keeps first ongoing is we do not stand still. We always try to let our staffs know what is coming up in the next 3 to 6 months, what is coming up in 6 to 12 months time, things like that.
Yeah.
So, just for example, in our case, in Singapore, because of COVID-19, we actually, before COVID-19 hits, we actually have an office space of about 3,700 square feet.
Oh, wow.
But because of COVID-19 enquiries, and we have to hire more project managers and more sales to handle the enquiries for e-commerce websites,
Yeah.
we have to take on a new rental space additional of 1,800 square feet.
Ah.
And I just collected the key today. So
Oh,
we are going
wow.
to do a renovation.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. So we are going to do a renovation and move in
Yeah.
some of our new staff to the new office in a month's time. So
Yeah.
the staff has been informed this in October. So this kind of this is the strategy that which we adopt. We try to let the staff be part of what we are. We do not hide
Yeah.
things from them. They know what is ongoing. And so this Australia thing is has always been on my mind, but
Yeah.
it's a challenge. But we do not want to fly all the way to Melbourne to set us up. But before COVID, we would think that we will need to do that.
Yeah.
But right now, with COVID happening, actually, what we can do is we can set up online business, a new name, having some traffic from Melbourne or Sydney, coming to this website, then setting up a phone conversation with them and Google Hangout calls with them, things like that. So I believe this is something that is doable and that we would like to try for it.
I think that's a great plan. Well, look, Henry, thank you so much. It was a pleasure chatting with you. For anyone that wants to follow your story, well, check out Verz Design. Their website is verzdesign.com. Give them a like on Facebook. Their username is @VerzDesignSingapore. And join us next time when we chat with another agency founder about starting and growing their digital agency. I'm Tim Hill, and thanks for tuning in.